Hello guys, it is your boy Prince of It is back here with What If Naruto Had Darkseid's Powers Part 2 named Trouble. And I am back once again. Hope y'all enjoy my presence. I have from now about only 7 days left at home. I'm still enjoying myself, honestly. I'm chilling. What else can I say? It's good to be back in civilian life. I'm about to go back. I'm gonna go to San Diego next. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna maybe working a lot, but I'm gonna have fun. And yeah, hope y'all enjoy this. Again, like I said, I will be posting very minimally. I mean, after this, I'll have like you won't see me for another 6 months. I'm not gonna lie to you. I swear to God, you will not hear from me for another 6 months. But I will try to finish this series as fast as possible. Maybe even crank out another one if you're lucky. I'm lucky, and I have enough time to do that. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get into the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all my future videos. Also, I have noticed that sometimes I tend to speed up a lot. I really don't notice it. I try to go as like slow as hell just to make sure you guys catch everything, but I still hear my videos and I hear that I'm speeding up a lot, so I'll try to like calm down. And you can also have a longer video bonus. Alright, let's begin. We began with the same Naruto in the last part, who after suffering a loss to Sasuke ran from school and gained an epiphany. As he unlocks the Gekkei Genkai, he mistook it for a summoning jutsu, and days pass as he shows the ability to do more and more. People change, and his standing in the village changes as well, and his jutsus are abnormally strong. After passing his tests, he would then meet up with his team. They wait for Kakashi. Excuse me. Then they meet at the training ground for their final initiation. Sasuke, Naruto, and Hinata pass using a mind seal used by Naruto so they can keep on the same page, and they eventually win. They become Team 7 and after a while get their first D-rank mission with Tazuna. When they meet Zabuza on the way, Naruto beats him out of anger, takes the Executioner Blade, and changes its structure to match himself. They turn into daggers, similar to the ones that Tengen uses in Demon Slayer. I love those. They arrive at the waves and train while helping Tazuna finish his bridge, and afterwards, on one day, Gato's men try to take Tazuna hostage, but Inari tries to save her when Naruto then comes in and saves them both. But we're going to begin this part with Sasuke clashing with Haku, while Kakashi and Hinata stay standing guard with Tazuna. Zabuza only watches like everyone else while the two would fight. Clashing with Kunai, the two young shinobi go back and forth as Zabuza is surprised he can keep up with Haku and his immense speed. And this is when Haku would use a one-handed hand sign, create some ice needles that he then has encircle Sasuke and bombard him. In that instant, Haku would then jump back and the needles would stab him, or so he thought, but Sasuke then disappears. From above, he would then dodge the shuriken thrown as Sasuke took to the sky, and in the blink of an eye, he then appears behind him with the kunai that he then goes to stab Haku with, but Haku blocks his arm. But the kunai is then dropped to Sasuke's other hand as he catches it and then throws it at incredible speed, making Haku dodge, when he is then met by a kick from the boy to his face, sending him flying back, and he then crashes onto the bridge. "You're not that fast," says Sasuke. "I'll admit you're strong, but Haku's only getting started," Zabuza said. As he hears this, the air will start to turn chilly as the demon ice mirrors are risen by Haku, trapping Sasuke in them. And rushing forward, Hinata will then throw a wind palm at Haku, who dodges, jumping into an ice mirror, and he's then shown in every single mirror at that moment to Sasuke, who looks around, activating his Sharingan. And in the blink of an eye, he's then stabbed by a senbon to his right shoulder, and he wasn't able to keep up. What? In that instant, a bunch of senbon are thrown at him, but he's not then jumping in at that moment and using the rotation technique, knocking them all back, surprising Sasuke and Haku. As the revolving dome of chakra is dispersed, Hinata will then say, "I'm not going to stand around and watch my teammate die." "Die? That's a bit of an over-exaggeration," Sasuke said. The infamous Hyuga technique," said Haku. "I underestimated you, but it's not over yet." She fires even more senbon needles, but using her Byakugan, Hinata would then accurately knock them back, while Sasuke does the same with his Sharingan, and they stand back to back, covering each other. However, Sasuke has more trouble, though he is still handling himself pretty well. It's just that the Byakugan is more suited to stuff like this. It does by no means mean that Sasuke is weaker than Hinata. They're about like the same level. Meanwhile, outside, Kakashi and Zabuza are still outside the ice mirrors. Zabuza and Kakashi are still at a standstill. Kakashi cannot move in fear of Tazuna being hurt, but Zabuza can't move either because it's still Kakashi and he's very dangerous. But then from behind, he heard a crash. The two would then turn to see the ice mirrors blown away and cut apart as Naruto then lands, wielding the Executioner Blades, and Haku is seen sent flying and crashing to the floor. Sorry I took so long. That's okay, we almost handled it, said Hinata. That thing's become your favorite toy, hasn't it, said Sasuke. Hanging the blades around his neck, Naruto says definitely, as he looks to Zabuza saying, let's stop this now, you're not gonna win. Give me back my sword, you bastard. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Taking off the daggers, he then reconstructs them back to their original state into the giant executioner sword, or blade, whatever you want to call it, and he then swings it down perfectly with perfect motion, leaving the man at a loss for words because even he needed to drag it around or use chakra to power himself so he could hold that thing, and yet Naruto's just doing it with one hand. His eyes then trail out to see Haku, who still manages to stand though, as he is clearly near death just from that one attack from Naruto, and he makes a one-handed sign. You're not gonna hurt, Mr. Zabuza. His mask would then be cut apart by a delayed attack, with the three being surprised that he was actually a girl, but she's a he, and I just called her she by accident a few moments ago. But walking to Haku, Naruto bites his finger, and when he gets close enough, Haku strikes, but though he visibly sees his kunai touch and rip Naruto's clothes, his bare skin shatters the kunai that he has. This kunai is made of ice, by the way. I just thought it'd be a cool detail to add. Yeah. And this is when she asked, just what are you? I said she again, god damn it. So, inscribing his seal on his head, he would then say, that's rude. You can do all this crazy stuff and I don't call you a what? As the mark is seared, he emits the same blood-red aura and his wounds slowly heal, and Haku steps back, soon seeing that he was completely fine, and Zabuza is relieved, but asks why the hell he just did that to his enemy. However, at that moment, Gato makes an appearance with an army of people behind him. You still haven't finished this little fight of yours yet? Pathetic. Aside from his own goons, there were a very powerful ninja present with the man, and he would show a smirk. As strong as that kid might be, even you can't do much against this many. Getting on guard, all the shinobi realized that Gato was betraying Haku and Zabuza, which is not that surprising. But then Naruto stepped forward, returning the blade 2 daggers, as he walked to the army, began to eliminate such a powerful amount of bloodlust that all the army saw was just a demon, and they wondered if this was even a kid. Gato then ran to the back, yelling for everyone to get him, and Naruto gets in a fighting stance. I didn't kill you because there's more to this. I want to know what, so wait your turn, alright? He stabs his blades to the ground and begins to make hypersonic levels like speed, like hand signs, and from the daggers explode spikes that skewer these shinobi, and the fighters are then hung up like shish kebabs, and more of these long spikes will then release more spikes from them, killing everyone who's like at the side or like just nearby. Like if they run past a giant spike trying to avoid it, another spike will pop out and then stab them, and Gato just watched this in horror. They ran away, coming his way, trying to save themselves, but they were all caught and hung like animals. What is this? Gato thought, as he could not move, and past him flew these giant spikes to destroy his army as they tried to make their escape. Tazuna would then wipe away his nervous sweat, and he just cannot believe what's happening, when at that moment he heard the voice of Nari. Turning back, he saw a horde of villagers being led by his grandson, about to fight back, obviously, to stop this bullcrap. But upon seeing the massacre, they'd all be at a loss for words. The blood of these spilled people are then absorbed and fed to the blade. Like everything is warped and just fed to the blades, and the spikes will retract and they are then dropped, with Naruto pulling the daggers out of the ground and hanging them around his neck. Alright, can we talk now? Jeez, it's like all you two idiots can do is just fight. Yeah, I'm not getting that thing back, am I? Thought Zabuza. In the following moments, Zabuza and Haku retreat, as though Naruto does actually offer the Executioner Blade back in its normal form, Zabuza feels as though he kind of deserves it more, and honestly, his dream is almost there. He doesn't really Gato's out of the way and he's on his way to doing his own shit. Team 7 is celebrated as Naruto has the bridge named in his honor, and Gato is gone. Like he fled. He just does not fuck with the waves no more, meaning that he also left behind his huge fortune, which Zabuza will use for his own gain, and things will start to change again. Seeing off the team eventually at the bridge after all this is over, Tazuna and some builders come to say goodbye as well, and Naruto sees a crying Inari with them. It's gonna be dull without you here, freaking punks, said Tazuna. Please stay safe, said Hinata, and they give nods and start to head off, as Naruto then turns back saying, hey, don't be a baby, alright? I'll come visit. You better. I never break promises. Okay, come back soon. They will then wave to each other, and we're gonna fade to black. After returning to Konoha, and with the Executioner Blades no less, Naruto's presence feels that much more important, because there's no way he just stole them. So, It shows that the level he's at is much higher than most kids, because the Blade's forms have also changed, by his own methods, his own will, and therefore the village's description of it has changed as well. So it belongs to the Leaf now. But truly, his truth, the truth about his abilities are being spread. He's becoming more infamous. But Team 7 carries on like normally. They finish up another mission, and then they do a C rank mission and return, and it's been 2 weeks by this point. Alright, I'm gonna hand in my report for today, which means you guys are dismissed, said Kakashi. Cool, I'm gonna go home, said Sasuke. Hinata, wanna go to Ichiraku Ramen real quick? Okay. You sure you don't want to come with? Naruto asked. Have fun, said Sasuke. With a shrug of his shoulders, Naruto then grabs Hinata's hand and they start to run off, and she musters up the courage to not pass out. Luckily, she's been around him a lot, so she's much more confident than she would have been, a long time ago. But now that she's alone with them, she thinks and wonders, wait, isn't this like a date? As they turn a corner, however, her thoughts are then startled by the screams of a child. Naruto lets go of her hand and sees Konohamaru being held up by a scarf via Kankuro as Moegi and Udon scream for the Sand Ninja to let him go. Hey, didn't you hear him? Looking down the street, Kankuro and Tamaru would then see him, as do Moegi and Udon, and they will also see Hinata. And this is when Moegi would say, Big bro Naruto, he won't let Konohamaru go. I don't know why he's doing this. Stepping forward, Naruto said not to worry about it as he starts to make his way over, and Tamaru tells Kankuro to just let the kid go, like this is petty. But holding his hand out, he would then release a chakra thread to trip Naruto. But upon seeing this, very clearly, Naruto is not blind. I mean, he's not blind, but people wouldn't normally notice it. He just has very hyper senses. He would simply walk through and snap this thing as he grabs a hold of Konohamaru and rip away Kankuro's hand. So you're not some amateur, said Kankuro. How did he disperse my thrust that easily, he thought. Putting down Konohamaru, he tells him to run, and with a nod, he and his friends run off, thanking him, and Hinata would then step up asking why they were doing what they were doing, and she would say, he was just a kid. I'm allergic to shrimps. Can't you tell, said Kankuro. You think you sound cool or something? Hearing a different voice, they look up to the trees, seeing Sasuke, who says, trust me, you don't want to climb that tree. Naruto will kill you. Naruto? So you're that guy, said Tamari? Yeah, a little shorter than I thought you'd be. I don't care whatever they call you. You piss me off, said Kankuro. Unleashing his puppet from his back, he unravels it and shows its true creepy-ass form and readies for a fight when another voice is then heard, startling everyone except Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke would then look to his side, and he would see a shinobi hanging off a branch upside down. As soon as we arrive, you start a fight. As Kankuro is silenced, Sasuke would then land down, as does Gaara, with Sasuke then asking for his name. He's very interested in him. Gaara of the desert. Uchiha Sasuke. Man, whatever, let's go, Hinata. Freaking edgelords, Naruto said. Dragging her past the Sand Ninja, Naruto then runs ahead, telling Sasuke he might as well just come now because he was tailing them anyway, so why not? And so he joined them. The Sand Ninja then went their own way, and this would of course lead to Team 7 asking Kakashi about the Chunin exams, and he would allow them to join. They go the very next day and enter the designated building, making their way past many as they head to the room they were told to go to. They would then come across an interesting scene, seeing Lee be kicked down right after Tenten is hit, and Neji would then turn, making eye contact with his cousin, who would avoid his gaze, and they would then make their way past the crowd. It's Naruto. Aren't those them? The executioner blades? The two participants guarding the room everyone was trying to get into don't even try to aggravate them, and Neji would then ask, you got somewhere better to be? You mean you don't know? Sasuke would ask. There's a genjutsu in place, said Hinata. You guys might be in the wrong spot. Shocked to hear this, they watch as the team would just walk off, and the two would then release the genjutsu. The people who were blocking the door release the genjutsu, and knowing everyone who knows that they're not on the actual real third floor. And Lee at this point would then get up as everyone starts to disperse, and his wounds instantly healed. It's kind of freaky. He eyes Naruto intensely, and Tenten would say, "Don't do it. Just don't." Running off, however, he ignores their words. He ignores her words, and he catches up with the three, heading to the third floor through another way, and he would then call them out from the balcony. As they turn, he then jumps down and lands. I am Rock Lee, Naruto Uzumaki. I came here to fight you. Really? So this is what exams are about. Fun. I mean, sure, yeah, let's go. Excited to be taken up on his offer, Lee then gets in a fighting stance, but says that before that, he has something else he wants to say. Will you go out with me? He looks to Hinata, who turns red, fidgeting, not knowing what to say, as she looks to Naruto, and Lee just uh like just is trying to like wait for his answer. He's very passionate. There ain't no Sakura, and honestly, Hinata look way cuter. And Tenten and Neji arrive at the balcony and see Naruto step forward, brandishing his blades, saying, "Ask her out later. That's just disrespectful." "You look like a tomato right now," Sasuke said to Hinata. I just never had anyone ask me that. Sorry, but I'll have to say no." This breaks Lee, who hangs his head in sadness, and Naruto would then yell for him to get ready. "We're gonna do this or not?" Before that, "What? Can you face me without your blades or jutsus?" "Fine, whatever." He drops the blades and gets on a taijutsu stance, as does Lee, who says, "I've heard of your skill with jutsu, but I am the strongest fighter, junior shinobi, in this village." Dashing forward, Naruto says that he doesn't care, throwing a kick that Lee ducks and goes to sweep Naruto off his feet, but upon hitting his leg, he feels his almost crack as a punch is then slammed into his face, cratering it into the concrete floor, leaving Tenten and Neji at a loss for words. "Yeah, I think you need a new title, dude," said Naruto. "I thought he was just known for jutsu," said Tenten. "No, simply that his jutsu have outshadowed his close-range fighting abilities," said Neji. As he rose and jumps back, a wobbled Lee would focus and move forward at intense speed, throwing a punch and another one, and many kicks as well, and yet Naruto does not move one bit, letting them all hit him with a big smile. He's like welcoming it with his arms out. He feels like hitting a mountain, Lee thought. He even outclasses me in taijutsu? Grabbing one of Lee's kicks at this moment, Naruto would then swing and slam him to the floor, releasing a shockwave as his eyes go blank for a second. But Sasuke and Hinata actually find it hard to keep up with Lee because it's Lee. And Sasuke thought, he's actually really strong. Naruto's just overwhelming him. As Naruto lets go of Lee, he is sent flying, and he would just be lying on the floor after another attack. And Naruto then went and picked up his daggers and hung them around his neck, saying, "You're pretty strong, but next time let's do it without the weights on." Seriously, he even noticed that? Lee thought, I truly did lose. "What did you mean by that?" Sasuke asked. He actually had weights under his clothes. It's not very noticeable at first, says Hinata. Hearing this surprises him, as it means that he has even more people who honestly have just like come out here to show him up because he thinks he got improvement, and there are people fighting here with restraints on. And he would then ask Naruto, "You weren't even going serious, were you? Why would I if he literally can't? That's not fair." Clenching his fist, Sasuke would then strengthen his resolve a little bit, and he's realizing more and more how many obstacles there are in his path. But it's also kind of exciting. Each have their own reason to be here already, and it's just fun. Naruto just wants to get used to these blades. He wants to actually use them against someone who's worthy, and Hinata wants to get over her own fears, blocking her from moving forward in strength, and Sasuke plans to just climb the ladder and get as high as he can no matter what. So, taking to their actual destination, they enter room 301 with all those present in the room looking to them and emanating bloodlust. "Sasuke!" Grabbing onto him, Ino and Sakura would then say they had missed him, making him uncomfortable. And Sakura would say, "Get your hands off, Sasuke, pig." And this is when they just start to argue back and forth. Ino says, "Nah, he's mine, he's not yours." And Sasuke said, "Naruto, I swear to God, you better do something." You sure you don't want to spend time with your girls?" Pushing them off of him, he then says that they should stay away. He's actually like kind of pissed off and become gloomy as Shikamaru and Choji then come over telling Ino to stop being cringe and clingy. Kiba and Shino then approach at that moment, and they have like an air of anger, just like no give a damn attitude about them. And Naruto would then say, "I'm guessing you guys don't like each other very much, huh?" "Oh, I'm fine with Shino. He's fine." She never stops talking about Sasuke. Sasuke this, Sasuke that. I can't even recount the amount of times I asked Kurenai Sensei to just swap her out with somebody. "Shut up, Kiba. You're just jealous because Sasuke's better than you," says Sakura. "No, we're jealous. He's good, actual good shinobi," says Shino. Yeah, Shino was yelling. He's actually pissed off. This makes some chuckle as Sakura gets embarrassed, not knowing what to say, and already any shinobi nearby thinks of her way less. She's not threatening the least. She has no dojutsu. She doesn't seem to be intimidating. She looks the most normal. At least Ino is from the Yamanaka clan. You feel me? And this is when they hear, "Hey, would you guys do me a favor and shut up?" The Konoha 11 would then turn to see Kabuto, with Ino asking who he thinks he is, and he would say the name's Kabuto. "And so what? You do know who's here with you, right?" This is when they stop living in their own little world and notice all the eyes on them from this little talk, and the abnormal amount of bloodlust coming their way is kind of amazing. They all react differently, some with fear, some with indifference, and some with excitement. Naruto, though, would just walk forward, slamming a foot on a desk, making himself the center of attention, as he would say, "Name's Naruto Uzumaki." If anyone wants to throw down, come at me. Don't just stare. Those who seemed intimidating would be reduced to frightened little rabbits at the bloodlust emanated by this one guy. And it sent shiver down all their spines, and they realized why their villages warned them of this one guy. Like Naruto has been famous since childhood, but he's only grown stronger with age, and now you're coming to Chunin exams to his village. Of course, they're going to warn you about this infamous guy. This is when Naruto would then go and take a seat. He would lie back, and Sasuke goes and takes a seat on his own, as does Hinata. Yeah, no one here is as scared as that bastard, said Kiba. He beat up Johnny for fun when he was like 10 years old. Hearing this from Kiba, everyone would then think, like, just, what the hell, man? What is it? How was this even fair? And Kabuto would then think, trust me, I know who he is. Soon, everyone just takes a seat and wait around until Ibiki comes and they begin their written tests. For this, Naruto didn't even, like, do anything special. He just used his general knowledge. Though he may act brash, no one would have guessed that he's kind of extremely intelligent and has only become more intelligent since discovering his Kekkei. It's not on purpose though. It's just due to how his brain processes things, and the blood that he uses for jutsu is already in his body. That's why his body is so hyper freaking like enhanced. Therefore, his brain processing speed is insane. He doesn't just waste time on learning like fancy words trying to show off how smart he is though. And that's why he's crass. He just wants to be strong. People disguise cheating, use their jutsus and stuff, and he just uses knowledge. And some get caught though. Some don't until the 10th question of the test comes out. But the smiling Ibiki would then say, there is no 10th question, and everyone is relieved, but a bit mad. Why did we have to suffer through the other 9 questions then? Yells Tamari. That was just waste. There was no waste. Those questions were used to test one thing: your skill in espionage. We set you up on the assumption to cheat. That's why I mentioned that you fail as a 3-man cell if even one of you lost. It was to pressure you. We even snuck in a pair of ringers. Those 2 already knew the answers, and we expected you to cheat off of them. He points to 2 of his own people who were sitting at a desk just like normal students, and Naruto would say, I guess I failed then? Damn, what are you talking about, Naruto? What? I just answered everything. I didn't do any spying. Walking up to Naruto, Ibiki would then look at his paper and pick it up, and he reads every answer saying, every single one's correct. Wait, seriously? That guy's that smart? I mean, how easy is this all for him? You're an exception, says Ibiki, but in the real world, there are consequences to being caught, said Ibiki, with him then showing his bald and horribly scarred head, which obviously showed signs of torture, and it horrified many of them. He would then tie his headband back up, and Naruto would then say, I can take care of that for you, pretty easy. No, don't worry about it. I keep it as a reminder. Alright. As Ibiki walks back to the front, Tamari would then ask why there was a 10th question posed at all then, and Ibiki would then say, it was a real test of this exam, whether or not you would just simply give up, dragging your own teammates with you, or move forward, take the risk of getting caught, and accomplishing your mission. You will have to take some missions that can't be declined. Keep that spirit, you'll have to manage. You did. You passed the first test. Out of nowhere though, while they're kind of like happy, this is very warming, into the window crashes someone, catching everyone off guard and hanging up a big sign with the kunai to the ceiling, and Anko would then say, you don't get to celebrate yet, follow me to the next test. I'm the second chief examiner, Anko Mitarashi. Hell yeah, let's go, yells Naruto. Finally, something fun. I said don't celebrate, or do what I want. I'm gonna kill this brat, she thought. Cut to a few moments later, the participants find themselves looking at the forest of death, and it is boarded off by a big, long, giant fence, and Naruto would say, nice. It's not nice. Would you just stop ruining my fun? Replied Anko. She's like a child or something, everyone thought. Honestly though, I'm not gonna lie. It's very unlikely that any of you will make it through this, she said. Now shifting to a more menacing facade, Anko puts down the rules and how serious this actually is. They'll be facing potential death. This forest is filled with like giant ass beasts, and they have to sign a waiver. After doing so, they're then given one scroll, whether it was heaven or earth scroll. They had to get the other one from other teams before then heading off to the final finish line. Already the fight began as soon as they entered. People would catch each other off guard, they set traps, they clashed one another in secret or out in the open. Due to this, many teams get their scrolls already and just head off, and they're set. But Team 7 moves around on foot for now and just look around, and Naruto has to mark his team's heads because they don't know what kind of shifty crap people be pulling out here. And Naruto would say, okay, this time you need to emanate chakra and gather before you can actually hear anything from anyone. So don't worry, it's not automatic now. I gotta take a dump. Seriously? Seriously. You guys can go ahead though. I know where you are. Be careful, okay, so Hinata? Naruto would then nod and runs off, and the others would do the same, running and then jumping through trees at some point. About 5 minutes or so pass, and then Naruto catches up with them, and he would be behind them. He would say, "Hey guys, what'd I miss?" However, Sasuke and Hinata land as they body flicker right in front of him, and Naruto, who blocks their attack, is then sent flying to a tree, and the two would then land. And Hinata would say, "You're not Naruto." As the fake Naruto stood, he showed a smile Naruto never could. "What gave me away?" he asked as he took the form of a tall, lanky man wearing a gas mask and bandages. "You wouldn't understand even if we told you," Sasuke said. As they get ready for a fight, though, a massive quake would then go off as a real Naruto tells Sasuke and Hinata to run via telepathy, and they run off right as the man is then squished and eaten by a giant snarling snake. "What the hell is that thing?" "It's a summoned beast," replied Hinata. Body flickering between the two of them and running with them, Naruto would then say, "Yeah, some creepy guy summoned it." At that moment, he then pushes them away as the snake would tackle him, and they land screaming for him, and Sasuke would then fall to one knee in pain, and he grabs a hold of a snake that just bit him on the traps, like on the neck, and he would kill it by squishing it. Hinata then jumps to him asking if he was okay, but Sasuke would then scream. He was like in massive pain when they then heard a voice. Looking to another branch up high, they saw a tall, lanky female grass ninja who took off her hat, throwing it aside when she then looks down, seeing her snake be shredded apart by extending daggers of Naruto. She barely leaps to the side as the branch that she stood on was hacked. Leaping towards the enemy at this point, Naruto would then swing about the daggers again, extending them and splitting her apart, but she regurgitates another body from her mouth, and Naruto would say, "Oh, are you serious? You two get out of here, I'll catch up." Grabbing a hurt Sasuke, who couldn't move at this point, he was like limp, Hinata jumps away, fearing this whole situation, but she was hoping that Naruto would be fine, but then she thought, no, it's Naruto, he'll be fine. As the two shinobi land to ground, they go pound for pound, clashing, resulting in Orochimaru being beheaded, and squatting down, Naruto would then swing his arms to the point where they became a blur, and the delayed impact then shreds her body apart again. Incredible, so much power in that little body, she thought. She would then turn to a log as another Orochimaru would then lunge at him from behind, having the tail of a snake, as he would then open his mouth, releasing another snake that grows ever giant, crashing Naruto into a giant tree while swallowing him, and the tree would then snap and begin to fall. Orochimaru's leg then returned to normal as he watches the snake fall to the floor, screeching in pain and rolling like crazy. "Is this your potential, Uzumaki?" As a scream is heard through the body of the snake, go a pair of lasers that then pierce the shinobi's heart before then being swung about, and Naruto would then rip the snake in two, lighting it ablaze, and he would then blow past this fire, and he would cease the blast as the marks on his body are then shown. "You're really pissing me off with your goddamn snakes, you bastard. Even your face is fake." Grabbing him by the face, Naruto would then show him to the ground as a massive rupture is spread, ripping through the forest as Orochimaru was shocked at this level of strength. And Naruto did actually take off his mask. You could like literally see it tearing off after like the second time he regurgitated himself. And Naruto, after making contact with the snake, however, doesn't realize that he can absorb his chakra this way. Indeed, the boy begins to feel weak as he buckles to his knees, and Orochimaru will then turn to snakes that surround and crawl up his body while biting and sucking him dry of chakra until Naruto screams and blows them off, and he would then watch as they regather into the real Orochimaru with his actual face, who while mid-air does hand signs and releases a violent flame pillar Naruto's way, and it would then hit, cause a massive explosion. As Orochimaru lands though, he's surprised to see that the flames are being absorbed by Naruto to his right palm, and they then become completely vanquished. And he's seen breathing heavily, heaving from this, like, these bunch of attacks, these hat tricks. And Naruto would say, "That's neat. I'm gonna borrow that." He used my jutsu after feeling its effects just once, and that fire jutsu, his strength. Slamming his hand down, Naruto's marks would then glow red around his body as mounds of trees and branches are released, grabbing a hold of and restraining Orochimaru while crushing him, until the boy would then clap his hands together, and they explode with violent thorns, many of which violently rip apart Orochimaru, who regurgitates the body, but as he leaps up to escape, he finds a forest of thorns rising and blocking his way to the sky. "I can't face this boy right now. If he gets a load of what I'm about to use, I might actually have trouble." He phases through the trees as he just gives up on going up, and he falls back down, and he goes underground while Naruto catches his breath and senses Orochimaru's presence fading, and he realizes something. Orochimaru. Right, a Sannin. God damn it. I was having so much fun. Running on the mound of trees and past them, he heads for Hinata and Sasuke, and he finds them pretty quickly. Hinata would then have Sasuke lie down at a cave, and they would watch over him as Naruto would ask, "What happened?" He started convulsing, and his chakra is in disarray, almost like being corrupted, said Hinata. Rolling him over, Naruto would then see the mark of Orochimaru and touches it as he feels how dangerous it is. Biting his finger, he would then mark over the inscription with the triangle, and he would say, "I never done this before, okay, so just try to survive. You wouldn't leave it off here, right?" "Shut up, Naruto," says Sasuke as he slightly opened one eye. There you go. Clapping his hands together, Naruto would then begin to flow his chakra as Sasuke begins to squirm, and the mark becomes inscribed, like it becomes part of him, turns black, while the curse is undone and will be inverted and soon be gone, leaving Sasuke out of breath and quite sweaty. "Thanks. I'm gonna get that bastard, I swear." As he says this though, Naruto and Hinata hear some ruffling and turn to see Dosu and his team here, and Hinata would then walk out. "We're a bit busy at the moment, can you leave?" "Don't care. Get out of the way, we're kinda busy." He would then stop talking, Dosu would stop talking, as Naruto walks out. You know what, since they're here, they can just hand us their scrolls. You don't mind, right?" "Didn't Orochimaru say that he was gonna kill him?" said Saku. "Or bring him to our side," said Kin. "We need to." Already though, Naruto was gone from their line of sight, and after a bit of looking around and panic, they turned and looked behind. Naruto was there, and they attacked him with all their individual attacks, but despite being hit by sound waves, Kin's needles, and everything, it does nothing as the senbons are crushed upon making contact with him, and Naruto would then make a hand sign. The three's eyes go blank, and they fall to the floor with Naruto stepping over them and holding up a heaven scroll. "Genjutsu." "I'm honestly not surprised at this point," said Hinata. "Yeah, I feel like you're going to be saying that a lot. Let's get him out of here real quick," said Naruto. As Hinata nods, we then cut to Anko at the surveillance tower, keeping an eye on everyone, what everything's going on in the Forest of Death. But there was a panic, and Anko ran in to the monitoring room with two masked Anbu at her side. "What's wrong? What was that? What was that quake?" "To take a look." She gets closer, overlooking the shoulders of people monitoring everything on the screens, and she is shown a replay of Naruto slamming the face of Orochimaru into the ground, and is then shown his wood release, leaving everyone silent. Where is he right now? His team. That's the thing, they're already at the designated area. As Uncle stumbles back, she's just kind of speechless. It had only been 30 minutes. This wasn't just a record. This was like a big deal. Another one. "That sick bastard gave it to another person," she said. This fight actually caused quite the eruption, and though people were not aware that this was due to Naruto, they were pretty shooken. It was kind of weird and it only made the game more tense. But they make it to the main area, and Sasuke is hit with a little fever, but luckily some medics were present. However, upon learning Sasuke no longer had the mark and being told by the medics that he had nothing like on him at all, Anko heard that Naruto did something, and she would talk to the boy and knocked on the door to the room that he was given to wait while others came. Opening his door, an excited Naruto was about to say, "Hey Hinata," or "Hi Sasuke," and just gets morbid. "Oh, it's just you." Grabbing him by the collar, Uncle would then yell, "How'd you do it? Tell me how." Whoa, you're the professional here? Can you just calm down?" Snapping out of her little moment, she lets him down and asks calmly how he got rid of Sasuke's seal. "I just put my own over it." "What? It's not a big deal." "Do you know what else that seal does?" It doesn't even... I don't get the way your Genkai operates. I was told that a desired effect came as long as you thought about it when touching someone, making contact somehow. It depends on the situation, intention. I just think and it happens. Look, it's Sasuke, okay? I wanted to help him, but if my seal's hurting him, I'm taking it back. No, it's better this way. He's better than ever. I have the same thing, see? She shows the mark on her traps, surprising Naruto as he asks what it does, and she explains it. And Naruto is left sickened, saying that he should have killed that guy on the spot. I knew he was a Sani, but I thought he was just another wacko shinobi anyway. Oh, he's wacko, but he's not wacko enough to keep fighting you. He knew what would have happened if you kept going. I can move yours a little bit more safely. Sasuke is younger, and you're older, tougher. I kind of did it on the spot, so maybe if I do it the second time, it'll be better. But you could also just do it, if you can do it. I'm tired of having this mark on me. With a smile, Naruto then lets her in and has her take a seat, and he's then gonna He marks the spot around with his blood like he did with Sasuke, starts to flow his chakra, and Uncle asks, "You said it was gonna hurt, right? So when did... Oh, never mind." She begins to kneel, keel over, like she starts to fall forward while she's standing up. But Naruto would then say to stop and just sit straight. Just keep circulating chakra and think about your breath. It's almost gone. As she nods and does so, the curse mark of Orochimaru slowly inverts and disappears. It's much tougher because she's had it way longer and it had become much more of a part of her. And something bizarre would then occur at that moment, with a burst of chakra knocking Naruto back into his own wall, and he looked forward. He smiled. "Yeah, I think I did it right." As she stood, Uncle looks at herself, feeling her reserves had grown to incredible amounts. Her chakra stops going out of control, and she then reels it in, and her and Naruto lock eyes, giving nervous chuckles. "What the hell is happening?" the two thought. As time passes, the day after Uncle had herself trapped by the likes of Kakashi, Kurana, and anyone else who has strong inner working knowledge of chakra and how it interacts with the body, they all come to one conclusion. Uncle's body had been reinforced, her reserves were enhanced by 50%, and her muscle tissue was somehow affected, giving her quadruple normal strength for any woman or human shinobi. Sasuke woke up and had the same effect, but because he was young, his body still had to adapt to the power much more. Naruto would then fully finish the seal for him, but unlike Uncle, Sasuke, after testing himself, finds that he can even take his Sharingan to Tomoe in one eye. And when he calls upon the power of the blood seal specifically, his eyes don't bleed. He just gets extremely tired, and he has a huge boost in general. He goes crazy. We then enter the office of Hiruzen, who, upon being given the report, stares down Anko, Ibiki, and Shikaku. "Well, this is unprecedented. I hope young Sasuke is doing better." "Oh, he's never been better. News says that he's been going to the Konoha training ground every day," says Shikaku. "But it's only a matter of time before other villagers find out about how precious Naruto is," said Ibiki. "Wood release, scorch release, and this newly discovered forge release," said Hiruzen. "Which one's that, Lord Third?" asked Uncle. "I don't know. He didn't use it until now, but by using his blood with the executioner blades, he found that he could change their shape in any way. Any weapon, he can change their size, length, and much more." Stroking his chin, Shikaku would then say that they should be able to use that to create some pretty useful weapons, but then he also says he's only made his hate for the leaf obvious. That blasted Lord Danzo. "Is that insubordination I hear, Shikaku?" The voice of Danzo is heard from behind the door as Hiruzen permits him to enter, and as he does, Shikaku would then say, "I don't work under you. I'll say it again. If it wasn't for you, our strongest, youngest shinobi wouldn't be dying to desert us at the age of 13, no less. No kid should be thinking about that. The strongest shinobi of the leaf should be able to defeat Orochimaru, and we all know how that went," Danzo said. Actually, the footage showed him killing Orochimaru multiple times until he was forced to escape. "But we all know how that goes. It's Orochimaru, right?" says Uncle. Getting silent, Danzo would then look to Hiruzen, suggesting that calm down. This is how I get fast as hell. Calm my heart rate down. Getting silent, Danzo looks to Hiruzen, suggesting that Naruto join his corps, but Hiruzen instantly says, "No. Keep your hand off this matter, you hear me? I made a mistake once with Itachi. This is the son of someone who not only served this village, but died for it. He deserves a modicum of respect. Get out." This surprises the ninja, even Danzo, who would clench onto his cane as he bows and leaves, closing the door as Hiruzen stands. "Too much. I've ruined too much. Keep all of this secure." Telling Danzo to stop only makes him want to try harder. I know how he is. I've forgotten because I've become so lenient. This isn't a democracy after all. I've never seen Lord Third so serious, thought Ibiki. I guess he's truly had enough. As 5 days pass, everyone would arrive to the tower, the main place, meet their senseis, and a present Hiruzen, as Hayate, the proctor, says surprisingly, there are still more of them than they need for the preliminaries. So they're gonna do... No, there's more of them than needed for the next fight, so they're gonna need to do preliminaries, my bad. Kabuto would drop out, and so the matches would begin. As Sasuke steps in front of Yoroi, Hayate says to begin, and he would back out as Yoroi would then throw some shuriken filled with chakra, but in the blink of an eye, Sasuke appears behind him, and he is sent flying to the sky, with delayed damage taking effect as he spews a fountain of blood, leaving everyone in awe. Everything was so slow, Sasuke thought. Is this how he always sees things? As Yoroi slams to the floor, Hayate checks him and sees his eyes have gone blank, and he calls the match. Sasuke Uchiha wins. Good job, Sasuke, said Ino, and they would start to like clap for him, deserves it. And this is when they see the true powers of the Uchiha. They're impressed. Surprised by how strong he has become, the Konoha 11C, he clearly has gotten very into his ninja work. He's become more dedicated, and as he makes it back to the stands, he meets his teammates, and Hinata would then ask if the steel was still hurting. Nope, I didn't feel anything. He high-fives Naruto and Hinata, and Naruto would then look at him while stroking his chin, saying, "My own personal guinea pig." Whacking him on the head, though, Sasuke would then say he's not as anything. What? I helped you. Let me have a little bit of leeway. Hell no. As they get close for an intense stare and they keep going back and forth with insult, Kakashi would then grab and hold them by the collar and away from each other. You boys need to get your shit together. Helped him? Does that mean Naruto trained that guy? Kiba thought. Damn, now we have more trouble on our hands. Hearing he received training from Naruto personally puts them on guard, extremely so, but the Jonin all know about the seal and almost feel bad for keeping it from their students because it's almost like cheating, honestly, but it had to be done. Next up is Zaku versus Shino. The winner is Shino. Tsurugi Misumi versus Kankuro. The winner is Kankuro. Sakura versus Ino, a tie, and it was the most boring fight about the stupidest motivations. Seriously, Kishimoto, what the hell were you thinking, man? Naruto versus Kiba is next. The winner is Naruto. I'm not even going to cover that. That's just embarrassing for Kiba. Then Neji and Hinata step up into the arena as Hinata gets in a fighting stance, breathing in and out, calming herself down. And this is when she says, "Before you say anything, I don't care. I'm going to fight. So Neji, you can attack or forfeit." Surprised by her confidence, Neji gets in a Hyuga fighting stance. "I do think you will lose, but it looks that today you're ready for it." Gentle style. Twin lion fist. As her hands burst with lavender flames and take the form of the beast mentioned, everyone is left on the edge of their seats as even Jonin can feel how dangerous this technique is. "Yeah, Hinata, show him what you learned," Naruto said. Rushing at Neji, she throws strike after strike that instead of blocking, Neji has to evade, but she ups her speed and strikes him in the stomach, knocking him back as he winces in pain from the flames, but Hinata dives in and throws another punch. However, an angry Neji would then strike all the points in her right arm, cancelling the flames as he then barrages her and hits her entire body until she's left floating off the ground from the sheer power, and this is when he sends her flying with a kick to the stomach. However, in that instant, while she's in the sky being sent flying away, she sends a wind palm his way. Neji counters with his own, causing an explosion of dust, and the dust is then blown away by a rotating Neji who knocks back Hinata as she tries to attack again, and then he gets her other arm. Crap, she was actually doing good. Yeah, she even stopped being so nervous. It's hard to believe it's the same Hinata, right? And this is when Lee ran to Team 7 and he asked, "Did you teach her that, Kakashi-sensei?" "No, I gave her a hint and she just discovered it herself." This only makes Lee like her more, and he says that her spirit is impressive. "But even for me, Neji is an opponent I do not wish to go against." I wouldn't have noticed that before, but everything he does is extremely meticulous, says Sasuke. Hinata is then knocked back by a hit to her chest and she coughs up blood, leaving everyone gasping and worried about her, but she manages to stand straight and gather her breathing and just keep her composure. And as you would say, "Give up already." Then maybe I give up. As silence hangs in that, just there, everyone is just kind of surprised, but Naruto leaps over as does Sasuke, and Hinata would then say, "How can I fight with my points blocked anyway?" It's kind of crazy, right? As she tries to catch her breath, Hinata would then hear some clapping and look up to see everyone giving her a standing ovation, saying her jutsu was awesome. Naruto and Sasuke start helping her, even back to the stand, saying that she did great. "I figured you could just kind of shrug off the point blocking, honestly," said Naruto. "Yeah, the only person who can do that is you," says Sasuke. "Next time I'll be more, I'll do much." "Okay, don't talk," said Naruto. "Wait till we get you up there and I'll heal you. Don't worry about it. You did great." She nods and is not even being nervous to be so close to Naruto at this point. She's happy. She stood up for herself and for her dream. And when they get up there, Naruto has her lie down. He fixes her while the next match would go on. But while it does, Sakura would then think, "That's Hinata? She became so..." Remembering how awesome she felt about herself fighting Ino, she then realizes that Hinata would take her and Ino down without a single sweat. Is this what Sasuke likes? Ino thought. I need to get strong. The way he looks at her is more than... Stopping herself in her tracks, she would then start to realize how much bizarre it was, how everything just changed. They always thought Hinata was weak. They were kind of like the popular girls of the class, and she was too timid to even show her clan techniques, but for them, It's more that they want the attention of Sasuke, so I don't really give a damn. They're misinterpreting that Sasuke likes her because she's strong. Hinata likes Naruto. Sasuke doesn't really like anybody. He loves wanting to come after Itachi. That's something. So, next up is Lee versus Gaara. Nothing much changes here, and Lee still gets his leg and bones fractured to the point where one of the medics who arrive pull Guy aside to say, I didn't want to say this, but that boy's body is far too destroyed for him to even be a shinobi again, do anything like that again. Hearing this, Guy begins to shiver. He tries to hold in his gasp, realizing that he didn't stop Lee in time, and now he will never fight again. I can fix him. As they turn to see Naruto, he runs over apologizing, and he says, my hearing is insane. Don't worry, I got him. He walks to Lee, being lifted up on the stretcher, and he bites his pointer finger, and he rolls back Lee's pants, and he will then drop a bit of his blood on his left leg before then making a hand sign. He manipulates the blood into taking the form of a healing seal, which is a plus. It has like an official like form now. When he makes like these seals have an actual like permanent like what's it called form, an actual like thing, they become much stronger as he prominently uses them more and more. His leg then begins to steam as his bruises slowly fade and his leg rearranges with the red aura enveloping it. Those watching on cannot take their eyes off as the regeneration is soon done, and Lee will then be sat down and he has his leg checked, and Guy waits in suspense. He's back to normal. Shedding tears, Guy would bow to Naruto, who says there's no problem and he will fix the arm in a few, and because his arm also got messed up. And Gaara would get pissed. He just beat this guy, and it seems like it was all for naught. He teleports away while Naruto moved to the left arm, saying that he would heal it very quickly and efficiently. I improved my seals a bit, so don't worry, no side effects. It seems not time for your end yet, Lee, thought Neji. You were lucky. I guess it was right for you to fight him, or he wouldn't have taken interest in done this at all. After Lee is healed, even the gates of the injuries are automatically taken care of, and he is taken away with Hayate saying, thanks for the assistance. Putting a thumbs up, Naruto will then start to walk off, and Guy falls behind, and before he can say anything, Naruto once again says, it's okay. There's no way I'm going to let Lee go through what I did. He's strong. His journey doesn't end here. Not if I have anything to say about it. I agree, very much so. And if you wish, I could teach you the power of youth as well. You mean the gates? As Guy nods intensely, Naruto wouldn't think about it and hold his hand out, and Guy would shake it. They shake on it, and Naruto starts to talk about all the ways he could improve the gates if he got a hold of it as they made it back to the stands. And Guy thought, this may be a bit wrong, but if this genius of a boy gets his hand on this power, it may help Lee in the future. All of us, thought Guy. What will Naruto do with the 8 gates? How would the final fight play out? How will Jiraiya interact with Naruto when he eventually comes up? Find out in the next part of Naruto. It's been your boy, Prince of What Ifs, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.